What's going on, folks? Today we're trying to resurrect my Suburban. For those of you that don't know, I own a 1999 Suburban that I have some big plans for, and right now it's rough, right? But it's been sitting back here for 2 months or so. It's got a little bit of an engine knock and I didn't want to stress it out, but I need to crank it up and get it down to the shop so I can clean it out and start doing some of the plans that we have in the works for. Now, we're in the Suburban, and like I said, it's been sitting for a couple months and it's a little stagnant in here. And it has been sitting, and I doubt that when I turn that key, it's gonna do anything. But I wanted to give it a shot anyway, so here we go. And Chevy. Not even dash lights. This thing's dead. So what we're gonna do is hook up the battery charger, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, so the Suburban battery was dead. Not even good enough for my rinky-dink little charger to actually do anything with it. So now I'm gonna take my 2006 Dodge Magnum and I'm gonna drive it through the field to see if I can jump it off. Yeah, that's what we do around here. All right, so we got the Magnum out into the middle of the pasture. It's a good thing if you're gonna drive a vehicle out to jump off a vehicle, you make sure you have jumper cables in one or the other vehicle. Now I gotta walk back out to the shop. I got the jumper cables. Now we gotta walk back out to the middle of the pasture. All right, so the Suburban battery was absolutely dead, and the little charger that I had was absolutely not doing anything. So what I did was drive my 2008 Dodge Magnum into the middle of a pasture in 4-foot tall grass to try to jump start this thing. So right now, it's starting, but we need to let it sit for just a few seconds. Just a little bit longer. It's gonna work, hopefully. So when we get this thing cranked, here's kind of what I'm wanting to do. Is I need to drive it over to the shop, and it's just kind of full of stuff right now, but I need to clean it out. And I've got some big plans. We've got some cool stuff coming up that I want to use the Suburban for. The Lone Star 600, probably one of the biggest things, other than the fact that I just love driving my truck, and I kind of miss it. But as soon as we get it cranked, I'm sure this thing is going to sound like it. I hope it makes it to the shop. Let's give it a go. Closer. Not yet. So here's the next dilemma. The Suburban right now is parked in this pasture, and behind it there's a trailer, and behind that trailer is a 68 Volkswagen shell. And in front of it, well, in front of it is my Magnum. What I have to do is try to figure out how to get the Magnum back out of this little 6-foot gap in the trees, back to the parking spot, and leave the Suburban running and hope that it does not die to get it down to the shop. All right, it's been on here a second. Let's give it a shot. It's close. It's real close. All right, let's give it another shot. Let's go for another shot. Oh, it's running. All right, now I'm gonna turn the camera off because I gotta move the vehicles before I catch the grass on fire with the exhaust. You know, it's what happens. So here's the other thing about the Suburban. Not only does it sound like it has a knock, but the transmission, I don't have overdrive, and I don't have first gear. But hopefully we can get it out of this predicament, and we'll get it down to the shop. New motor, new trans, they're in the works. There it is in all its glory, just kind of stuck in the weeds. But it's running, and surprisingly enough, it doesn't sound that bad right now. let's hopefully get the transmission in gear long enough to get down to the shop. Let's see. All right, we're back in the Suburban and we're fixing to try to take off. I just want y'all to see the condition of that windshield. It's been sitting out here a while. So we're gonna put it down in second gear and hopefully that'll be enough to get it out. We have movement out of a hole and we're going. We are going through the pasture. That is so awesome. Apparently it went so well because it's in four-wheel drive, because four-wheel drive didn't turn with a flip. I don't know if y'all can hear that. That's not good. That's what we got to get fixed, among other things. All right, I got the Suburban up to the shop, and you remember when I said it had a little bit of a knock? That's not good. So I'm gonna do a little bit of interior work over this next couple months to try to get ready for this big Lone Star 600, and hopefully by then I'll have a motor and trans in it. But today's adventure was getting the old Suburban out of the weeds, and that thing sounds rough, but you'll see it in some more upcoming videos. We're gonna do some stuff on the inside. I got some ideas, so we'll see y'all next week.